Ladies, and here we are tonight on the CE Show, and tonight on the CE Show, I'm going to talk about this hire. So obviously, I came here and talked last week about Indianapolis, you know, how they were going to hire Josh McDaniels, but at the end he said no, and, you know, he stayed in New England. So over the last few days, they have talked to a few coaches, and last night they decided that they were going to hire Eagles assistant coach Frank Reich. Frank Reich will be their new head coach. So let's talk about this. Why I like this and why I do not like this for Indianapolis. Alright, let's talk about why I do not like this for Indianapolis. The reason why I do not like this for Indianapolis is because I think Indianapolis' problem is their defense. I think that is the weakest link of their team, their defense. So And looking at a guy like, I think you should have brought in a guy like who's more defensive-minded guy, you know? You having a guy like Andrew Luck, one of the best young quarterbacks in this league, if you can just get him a little bit more protection, you know, and get him a better defense, you know, I think they could be successful. I think it would have been more helpful for this team to bring in a defensive-minded coach than a a guy like Frank Reich, who's more of an offensive guy, where you don't really need at this point, if Andrew Luck's career has been in the league, I believe going on his 7th year, he does no longer need help getting developed, you know? I talk about this all the time. Guys like Mitchell Trubisky, they need help because they're entering their 2nd year. They need a guy who needs to come in there and help them develop, you know? Guys like that, you know? Wentz had it with Peterson. Goof had it with McShay. You know, we saw it a little bit. You know, we're going to continue to see it next year. Jimmy G in San Francisco had it with Kyle Shanahan. But at this point of Andrew Luck's career, does he need a guy to help him develop? I don't think so. Has he still reached the sky? No, he has not. Has he still reached his potential? No, he has not. But he's entering, I believe, his 7th season. He does no longer need somebody to come in and hold his hand. I would have liked him to see somebody like maybe the Carolina defensive coordinator, Wakins, whatever his name is. Somebody like that, you know, come in here and try to fix that defense, which I think is more of a need. A defensive man that could try to fix that defense. I think I think Andrew Luck can handle it. You hire a good offensive coordinator, and he can, you know, Andrew Luck and him can work together. But I would have liked them to go with a more defensive-minded guy than an offensive guy. Because I think Andrew Luck is at the point now where he has not reached his potential, but he's played in an AFC Championship game, got his ass whooped, but he has played in there. He's got playoff experience. Made the playoffs, I think, almost every year. Almost every year he's played, he's made the playoffs. So, you know, he doesn't necessarily need a guy to hold his hand. And like I said, I think the weakest link of his team to me is the defense. That's why I would have brought a defensive-minded guy. All right, now let's talk about why I'm happy about this move. Because if there's a guy if there's 2 guys in this league that play quarterback their styles are pretty similar, it is Carson Wentz and Andrew Luck. Go watch that film. When we were talking about getting Carson Wentz, I went to look at Carson Wentz film, and I said Andrew Luck right there. He's as tall as Andrew Luck, you know. He's as strong as Andrew Luck. He's as mobile as Andrew Luck. You know, if he's getting pressured, he can start moving and, you know, run and use his feet to get a first down. But he can also stand in that pocket and throw the football. So right away I thought Carson Wentz reminds me of Andrew Luck. And, you know, vice versa. Andrew Luck is Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is Andrew Luck. They're probably the 2 closest styles. You know, if you would have to choose a style for Wentz, you would have to say Luck. If you would have to choose a similar style to Luck, you would say Wentz. So a lot of stuff, most of the stuff that Frank Reich did with Carson Wentz the first 2 years in Philadelphia, he will be able to transfer to Indianapolis with Andrew Luck because they're pretty much very similar. They're pretty much the copy of each other, you know? So Frank Reich, a lot of the plays, a lot of the system he ran in Philadelphia, similarly, he's going to be able to do in Indianapolis. So that shouldn't be a problem. I actually think that will be a good pairing because of, like I said, very similar to what he did in last 2 years with Wentz. He's going to be doing with Luck. So as far as Frank Reich and Andrew Luck working together, I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think that's going to be a pretty good combination right there. The same thing, I think a lot of plays, You know, maybe mix it up a little bit. A lot of the plays he did with Carson Wentz, he's going to be doing with Andrew Luck. But like I said, can they get that defense fixed? To me, that is the problem with this team. Can they get that defense fixed? Because that is, to me, like I always go back and say, you have Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, all these guys throw the football. Yeah, that's all nice. That's all nice. Have ice cream, you know. But you have got to eat your pork and beans. How do you eat your pork and beans? You run the football and you play defense. That's how you eat the pork and beans. Right now, you're eating ice cream. You had a nice quarterback, Andrew Luck. But you don't have anything else. You don't have neither the pork or the beans. You get the pork by having a defense. You get the beans by running the football. They have got to go out and get an offensive line and help open the holes for the running back and help give Andrew Luck protection. And also they have got to go out and get the bean or the pork and get a defense that can support Andrew Luck. Look at Tom Brady in that Super Bowl we just defeated him about a week ago. It was just Bill Belichick and a Sunday ice cream. Tom Brady. But he didn't have no porks, he didn't have no beans. How many times did they run the football? They were not very successful. How many times did they stop them on defense? Not a lot, 41 points. Bill Belichick did not have the pork and the beans. He only had the ice cream sundae. You have got to get pork and beans if you want to win a championship in this league. I am telling you right now. And the Eagles, they only have the ice cream sundae and maybe the beans with the running back. But they didn't have the pork either. They didn't have their defense. Although that last play, you know, they had that strip fumble. But other than that, they didn't have their beans either. You know, they had the ice cream sundae and Nick Foles, and they had the beans and Jay Ajayi, but they did not have the pork. So you have got to go out and get your pork and beans. You have your Sunday ice cream and Andrew Luck. Now go out and get some pork and beans. Go out and get, you know, and like I said, also part of that pork and beans is that offensive line that can help, you know, open up, protect Andrew Luck, and then open up the running game. So that is what I want to see from this team now. Go out and get some pork and beans. Who's going to be your defensive coordinator? Who's going to be in the kitchen making the beans? You know, go out and get a defensive coordinator. And it's funny because they had a defensive-minded coach. It just did not work out. It worked out at first, but then it didn't work out. So maybe you're thinking, well, maybe you need to go offense. I don't think necessarily. Sometimes it's not. It's just more. It's a personality thing, you know. It's a personality thing. So not necessarily because it did not work with your past defensive coach does not necessarily mean you need to go to the offensive coach this time. Just maybe need to a different defensive-minded coach, a different personality. That's sometimes all it takes. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I think that's all I have to say for tonight. And you guys, you know, continue to give me your ideas. I see Chicken Wings give me an idea to do a draft preview. Chicken Wings, I think that I will do that next week. I have to study. It takes me a while to study it. But yes, I think I will do that video next week for you. That's going to be a long video, by the way. I have to figure it out. If I can fit all 32 teams here, do I have to go to the laptop? I don't know. But yes, I am working on that, and that should be a show I have for next week for you, Chicken Wings, and the rest of the CE Nation. Until next time, I am the man that runs the place, and I am C, and I will see you later. Oh, shit. Speaking of pork and beans, I actually have to go to the toilet.